Switch them up. Well, I'm still in the midst of winning, so can't quite tell what the 50th one's like. You know, I'm really happy to win Daytona for a second time on 2 different bikes, and I'm really proud I was on a Yamaha. Thanks.
Jeremy McGrath now with the point stand. Supercross returns to the Superdome in New Orleans for the first time since 1980. Hello, everyone. Art Ekman along with David Bailey and Marty Reed, ready to bring you round 10 of AMA Supercross action. We'll be getting right to the racing, but first, here's the qualifying procedure. Out of each qualifying heat, the top 4 riders get the pick of the best gate positions, advancing directly to the main event. The rest of the field moves on to the semifinals, where the top 5 earn the right to participate in the main. Only one more chance to earn money. The final 2 gate positions are then filled by the top 2 in the last chance qualifier. Here in heat number 1, a hometown boy, Kevin Windham, bringing the series back to New Orleans. This guy is smiling inside big time. Kevin Windham can fly his own plane in from nearby stopping grounds, Baton Rouge.
It's been a while since I've been home. You know, I've been in California testing and stuff, and it feels great to be home. You know, not only for Supercross, but just to see some of my friends and, you know, sleep in my own bed.
Kevin flew, I understand, Kevin also flew Doug Henry and John Dowd down here for press day.
and this is a great story because Dowd didn't realize he had his private pilot's license, gets on board the plane and tells everybody when he gets there, he says, I was a little apprehensive because I've been with him in a rental car.
Kevin Windham looking cool, though. Said he had to shake the butterflies out earlier during the ceremonies before his friends and family.
Well, it's good he got that extra lap out there under the pressure and getting to do a lap with Jeff Emig and last year's champion and McGrath, the series leader. It always gets a little of the ice broken for you before you get out there in your heat race. And dazzled the fans with a nice cross up over the finish line, just laid that bike just about upside down.
Ezra Lusk is in this heat along with Kevin Windham. And 24 is Phil Lawrence, of course. He's riding with an eye infection.
Yeah, I talked to him, and he said that the first few laps of the first practice session was pretty hard to focus out there, but then he felt better, and I saw him out there turning lap times with McGrath. I actually was following McGrath around a few laps when I first got here, thinking, boy, he's looking good. And then I realized that Lawrence was on his tail the whole way, so he said he feels comfortable out there in the ruts, and he's just going to have to keep pushing because he knows he's got the speed. He just hasn't had the best luck lately.
Also in this heat, Mike LaRocco, Greg Albertine. You see Albertine number 7, Damon Hughes. I should say Damon Huffman, Ryan Hughes, Michael Craig. And we're off, and racing returns to the Superdome. Kevin Windham in second place coming out of the chute there. Leaps by Ezra Lusk. Lusk to the inside. Getting balled up in that corner. Phil Lawrence got held up. But out in front, it's the hometown lad, Kevin Windham. The battle right now for second place. And moving into second place, Michael Craig, number 13, Honda of Troy. Ezra Lusk in third, Team Honda. And Greg Albertine in fourth, Team Suzuki. Mike LaRocco, the factory connection, is next.
Well, Lusk working his way back into second through that whoop section. That's where the bike setup really plays a part. Got to think that Lusk's bike is set up, should be anyway, just a little bit better than Craig's. That makes it a little easier for him to get to that whoop section, that aggressive.
Getting cheers each time he comes near the stands here in the Superdome. Kevin Windham, the first lap leader in our opening qualifying round. Ezra Lusk in second place, Michael Craig in third. Remember, only the top 4 get the transfer into the main event. So Greg Albertine is on the bubble with Mike LaRocco right behind him, and Damon Huffman, number 15, within striking distance before there's a good amount of space back to Phil Lawrence.
Right. Kevin Windham's coming off of a heat race win streak right here. See if he can keep that going, but now he's got Lusk actually starting to close in a little bit. Here comes the whoop section. Lusk to the inside. This is where he's strong. Windham, no problem.
And the battle is on between Windham and Ezra Lusk. Lusk looking great in practice.
I think there were several guys all running down in the 57-second lap times, and for the size of this track, it surprised me the lap times were that quick. Little mistake by Lusk there gives Windham a little breathing room. This goes all the way back, sorry, Art, goes all the way back to the first race of the year at LA, where Windham got out to an early lead and Lusk hounded him, and they got together on the last lap.
53-second lap time. We've got a real battle for the final transfer spot now with Albertine and Larocco. Here is our leader, Kevin Windham, number 8. Windham is having an outstanding rookie 250 season. The only rider besides McGrath to not have a double-digit finish on the season. Lusk to the inside. Windham trying to hold him off.
What impresses me is that Lusk, that last lap, this lap wasn't able to quite do it, but take that inside and not really get a run at that whoop section and still gain time through there. It's tough. Wyndham's going wide because he gets a much better run getting in there.
Craig is running a lonely third behind these two. And the battle still is Albertine in 4th with Larocco knocking on the door. If anything goes wrong, Damon Huffman is right there. So we've gone down to a 54-second lap time now, David.
A lot faster since practice. They went out with the dozers and reworked a few things.
The Suzuki leaderboard has Kevin Windham, Lusk, Craig, Albertine, and Larocco. That's how it stands.
They got Huffman just starting to close in on this battle.
We'll find out who will be our first 4 qualifiers as Albertine goes down. Let's hold it right here. He's holding onto his shoulder. That is not a good sign for Greg Albertine.
No, he's in pain.
Albertine, back-to-back 4th place finishes in the Florida Series, Tampa and Daytona. It looked like he was getting it all together. What a bad break.
What a shame. He struggled early, but really responded. See if we can take another look. Maybe get a chance of how he landed. Didn't seem that bad.
Okay, the leader is still Kevin Windham. Will he be the leader when we get back? We'll return to the Superdome in New Orleans after these words.
On your left are the Suzuki motorcycles you want. On your right are the accessories you want. Left, bikes. Right, accessories. Bikes, accessories. Straight in front of you is the great deal you've been looking for. Now during Suzuki Fest 98, get $500 worth of accessories free and choose from great deals like 0 down or low APR financing on selected models. So march right in. Left, right.
If your bills are adding up instead of letting up, about 20 minutes is all it takes to turn things around. Call Ames Home Loan. We'll work with you to get the money you want. Good credit or not, we can probably consolidate your bills and lower your overall monthly payments by 50% or more, even get you extra cash. So call Ames at 1-800-326-2626 and cut your monthly bills in half.
1997, what a year for the sport of Supercross.
The 97 Supercross Series, bar to bar.
And the season is underway.
From LA to Vegas.
McGrath is down, and then he's under the bike.
All on one video.
Doug Henry wins his 2nd Supercross.
In the best year in history.
You can expect a lot of fire.
Go behind the scenes and on the track.
Albertine through the timing section.
The most wicked crashes.
We pulled up by Emmett.
Bone-crushing excitement.
You want to know who got the whole shot? You call 1-900-PRO-RACE.
The best riders in the world.
Get bar to bar today. Call for your copy at 1-888-659-RACE or send a check or money order for $14.95 plus $3.95 shipping and handling to Bar, care of Pace Motorsports, 477 East Butterfield, Suite 400, Lombard, Illinois, 60148.
AMA Supercross is brought to you by Honda Motorcycles, the leader in on and off-road fun. Honda, come ride with us. And by Suzuki Motorcycles and ATVs. Now during Suzuki Fest 98, get $500 worth of accessories for free. And choose from great deals like 0 down or low APR financing on selected models. Welcome back to the Superdome. Supercross qualifying action. Our first qualifying heat. Kevin Windham now weeding his way through the lappers. From Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The fans are on his side, but Ezra Lusk not too far away. There's Lusk's mechanic Mike Gossler. And Lusk from southern Georgia. I understand the Yamaha team worked out at Lusk's practice track.
Well, they've seen each other a little bit this week. Most of these guys are friends. It's not really like they're worried too much about anybody finding out any secrets. I'm sure they didn't let them inside the cylinder or inside their engine or anything, but to go out there and ride together is actually good.
Okay, it's Wyndham, Lusk, Craig, and LaRocco. Huffman has now moved into that 5th spot. We'll see if LaRocco can hold on to the final transfer.
There's Lusk coming up short on that triple jump. The track here is really sticky. Hard to, they had to go all the way to Baton Rouge to bring in the dirt, try to find something dry, and it's still pretty wet. You can see the ruts developing through the whoop section, and Lusk coming up short on that triple. It's even worse to do here tonight because when you land, you just stick there. You can actually see tire prints down in the dirt. Even if you land right, you still land hard.
1,600 cubic yards of dirt more to fill this track at the Superdome than they would use in the Astrodome. Wyndham is our leader, but look at this battle ensuing right now for 3rd. Michael Craig and Mike LaRocco, with Damon Huffman right on LaRocco's heels.
Well, Craig is tough to pass. I've heard people say you just don't know where he's going to go. It's hard to really make a bid.
Craig got a great start at Daytona in the last race, but might not be completely back from that hand and arm injury in Indianapolis that's really set him back points-wise. Checking out the Suzuki leaderboard, Wyndham still holds on to the lead with Lusk in 2nd, Craig, and LaRocco battling it out.
There you see another LaRocco just trying everything. Craig still holding on to that edge.
Honda of Troy versus the Factory Connection Honda. Mike LaRocco moves in front of Craig. Now Craig has to defend against Huffman.
Yeah, he's still not off the hook, but that was just patience by LaRocco.
White flag lap.
Positioning himself all the way down that straightaway to the inside. Finally able to take the line away from Craig. LaRocco looked good in practice. This is the kind of track where I expect him to do well. If he gets a decent start, should be a threat tonight. Even if he doesn't, I think with the way the ruts are developing so quickly out here, I mean, we're dealing with ruts just about every time we go to a dome this year, it seems like, but here they develop so fast. That's in the favor of Mike. He comes on strong always late in the race.
Wyndham out in front by 4 seconds on the final lap.
That's going to do a lot for his confidence.
Craig is fading now. Wyndham, Lusk, LaRocco, and Huffman in the top 4 positions.
Lusk and McGrath were both so fast in practice. Everyone was kind of talking about those two, and then Wyndham comes out here and just pulls away towards the later stages of this heat race. It's a good sign for Kevin.
Oh, in the whoops as the checkers are flying for Kevin Wyndham. Lusk in 2nd. We'll get the official 4 that transfer themselves to the main event when we return to the Superdome.
Original floor plans for comfortable living and quality appointments throughout are a couple of reasons why Loudoners have chosen the Villages at Round Hill. Oak Hill Properties is the creator of this fantastic new residential community. Now your family can move in within 30 days. Sensibly priced with all of the extras and quality through every room. Villages at Round Hill now features townhomes in addition to their beautiful single-family homes. Come and see the Villages at Round Hill, presented by Oak Hill Properties. Oak Hill Properties is an equal housing opportunity.
Monkeys? What's this? A scenic route?
Hey, it's your old boyfriend.
Introducing the 97 Sportage 4x4 from Kia. Who says you've got to be rich to see the world?
Okay, Jungle Boy, your turn. Let's spin again.
See the Sportage at Manassas Kia, 9100 Centerville Road in Manassas.
Oh, great. Cannibal country.
Wuss.
Ask me all the time, how do you decide which anchors work together? And to be honest, it's an awkward process.
Dear Larry, want to do the sports together? If yes, check this box. Charlie?
Ultimately, you're looking for a good relationship.
If you're not doing anything later tonight, would you want to do a show with me?
Whoever said all's fair in love and war was probably a broadcaster.
We'll be back with more Sports Center in just a moment.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Qualifying is so important in Supercross. Take a look at number 7, Greg Albertine on the Team Suzuki. Albertine trying to qualify. In good position, really. Makes the mistake and goes down, and he, along with Huffman, Hughes, and Lawrence, have to go to the semifinal round now. As 4 riders qualifying for the main event, Wyndham, Lusk, LaRocco, and Craig. And with Mr. Kevin Wyndham is Mr. Marty Reed.
Yeah, and I think this is 4 in a row. I'm starting to lose count of these heat wins.
Yeah, you know, I've been doing really good in the heat. I just need to forward my concentration to the main a little bit more and get this thing up in the middle during the main. But everything's going good, and my bike's working great. My wife just pulled me the first turn. Bridgestone tires are hooking up great, and you know, my trainer Gary Simics has really been helping me out, and I feel strong, and it's time to do this in the main.
Were you thinking about all the fans here in hometown?
Oh, definitely. How can I forget? The crowd's really great, and I'm just trying to use it to my advantage and not let myself get psyched out, and so just trying to go out there and do the best I can, and the crowd's definitely pulling for me, and they're loud.
We'll see him in the main, guys.
Larry Ward, number 4, hoping to come back after a disappointing Daytona.
Well, it's hard to say really what happened there, but he said he was just riding around. He had a tough time just doing the obstacles and making laps, but he definitely wasn't racing, and I look for him to turn that around here tonight.
32nd board is up. Jeremy McGrath, Jeff Emig, Larry Ward, Mikel Pichon, Doug Henry, Michael Brown, John Dowd, Steve Lamson, John Sebastian Waugh, all terrific riders in heat number 2 trying to qualify Marty.
Quick update on Jeff Emig. The board's getting ready to go sideways. He has got a stiff back. It started last week with a neck. It's deteriorated down into his back. We'll have to watch him.
Okay, we're ready to go. Let's check out number 1 and number 4, Larry Ward. Both getting good starts, but out in front is Jeremy McGrath. He's got the whole shot. McGrath, Emig, and Ward in that order. Ward now cuts in front of Emig on the turn. He moves his team Suzuki into second place. Also note that Stefan Roncada is making his look at there. Ward taking over the lead from Jeremy McGrath. I was going to say Stefan Roncada using his first 250 ride for more experience before getting back to the 125 West. He's also mid-pack right now. But out in front, Larry Ward, and going down hard on the far side.
Doug Henry and Jeff Emig get collected right before the whoop section. It was hard to tell exactly what happened, but it seemed like maybe Henry came in there and caught Emig by surprise. They got together somehow, and Emig definitely got the short end of the stick.
Henry came on inside, and right there, Emig, you can see him pounding the handlebars, David.
Well, here's the first replay. McGrath coming in here. This is where Albie went down. They get on the gas right there while they're still laid over. No berm, but McGrath, savvy, able to hold that thing together and just lose one spot instead of going down.
So Larry Ward, atoning for Daytona right now, is out in front with McGrath in second, Brown in third, and Roncada is in fourth, David.
This is where you make your luck. Larry Ward didn't get a great start, but he went in and he attacked. He got by Emig right away, positioned himself right behind McGrath. McGrath made a mistake, and he was able to capitalize. Some people call that luck. I call that putting yourself in the right place at the right time by being aggressive and smart.
Michael Brown, Honda of Troy, in third place as we take a look at the 2 leaders. And there's Lee McCollum, the mechanic for Larry Ward, who's done such a terrific job at adjusting this bike in the last 5 or 6 races. Lamson now has moved into fourth as we take a look at our leader, Larry Ward. A week after Larry Ward wins his second Supercross, breaking that 8-year winless streak, he has a horrendous Daytona in 14th place. He teased us that day by winning his heat race as well. He's on his way to winning this one.
This is a great opportunity for Ward. Win this heat race or not. They've pulled out to a great lead, and to be able to go out there and cut laps with McGrath, the points leader.
Jeremy McGrath cutting to the inside. And it's side by side through the whoop section. Ward trying to get it right back again. Oh, great move by McGrath, going dangerously close to the mechanics area.
Yeah, they're watching their toes, all of them backing up. That mechanics area bothers me every week. Those guys don't have anything to separate themselves. This guy's coming closer to their feet every lap. The hot line gets moved wide, but like as I was about to say, whether Ward wins this heat race or not, to be able to get out there and turn laps with McGrath, see what he's doing, feel that pressure. Now the pressure's on McGrath. If Ward can keep it there, learn a little bit, take that into the main event, and try to make it a different outcome should it stay like it is.
Mike Brown, you see him there in third place. Number 100, Honda of Troy. Mike Brown trying to make his mark in Supercross. He's had a tough year of it, coming back from the GPs last year.
Lamson going for the triple
battle,
right there.
Lamson getting the inside track, and you see it right there. The lead change into third.
I think Honda would really like to see a little bit more out of Lamson, and I think I would too. I know Lamson's capable of doing a lot better on the 250. best finish this year so far, I guess, is a 4th.
The battle ensues for 3rd. Lamson and Brown. Will they end up this way? Are the checkers away for 4 more main event qualifiers when we come back?
It's what most men can only dream about. Powerful engines, rumbling exhausts, miles of chrome, and over 175 channels. Right now during Honda Dream Days, buy a Shadow or Magna. Get a satellite dish and 6 months of DirecTV. Or choose 7.9 APR with no down payment. So why dream when you can ride? Honda Dream Days ends May 31st. You'll even get a commemorative pin for showing up.
For over 30 years, Cycle News has been the weekly newspaper for motorcycle race fans. Results are official, point standings are current, and race coverage is timely and complete.
Oh, it was a great race, you know. I mean, it was an interesting race. And to win the last race and see.
It's something I dreamed of when I was a little kid, is to be a Supercross star. And
Riding impressions, new products, events calendar, classified ads, and more. Cycle News, America's weekly motorcycle newspaper. Call 1-800-325-2925 or visit cyclenews.com on the World Wide Web.
NBA Tonight at midnight, only on ESPN2.
Art Ekman, David Bailey, Marty Reed from the Superdome in New Orleans, qualifying heat number 2 underway. It is Jeremy McGrath, our leader, with Ward in 2nd. This is the battle for 3rd now with Lamson and Mike Brown. Mike Brown, number 100, Steve Lamson, number 17. Only the top 4 make it to the main event.
Now these guys are going to get some company. Look at number 16, Pichon. Got a great timing through the whoops. He's been making a lot of time there. Much faster than these 2 guys. He caught him from out of nowhere. Goes by them both.
Mikel Pichon, riding much better lately, makes the big move past the 2 Hondas. There's Henry, number 19. He's the next one to take on Steve Lamson and Mike Brown.
Remember in the first lap, he and Ebbett getting all crossed up together, and he's recovered from that. Now starting to challenge these guys. Wants to go directly to the main, not have to deal with a semi.
Less than 3 laps remaining here in the 2nd qualifying heat. Henry, all of Yamaha's hard work and a 4-stroke helping him to a very competitive Daytona.
McGrath has gone down just before the mechanics area at the end of the whoop section, and that's, I think, a little bit of his own mistake, plus the pressure of Larry Ward. Ward kept it as much pressure on McGrath as he could. He was close enough to keep McGrath thinking about him a little bit, keep pushing.
Looked like he hit a tough box as Larry Ward comes across the finish line jump. Let's take another look, David.
Oh, he's just approaching the end of the whoop section right there.
Boy, more
started
guys
leaning a little bit too far to the
window.
Jeez, handstand. McGrath has a graceful way of going down. Boy, even when he crashes, it's pretty cool.
McGrath still in 2nd place as the battle for 3rd is on with Pichon and Henry.
So once again, I was talking about making your luck, being aggressive, being smart out there, keeping the pressure on people, not waiting around. That's what Ward did. Like you could say, he forced McGrath into that mistake. Now he's got the lead.
Pichon had one of his best weekends of the season at Daytona, 2nd in the heat race, and a good recovery after a bad start for a 6th place finish. Pichon, number 16, Team Suzuki. Ward, McGrath, Pichon, Henry, and Brown, the top 5.
Well, that's the luxury of pushing really hard and getting a great big lead. McGrath is able to get up and still hang on to 2nd.
White flag for Larry Ward. Not a very energetic one. McGrath gets a little more twist to the wrist from the finish line official.
Well, you can bet Larry Ward is pretty stoked under that helmet. He's got to be feeling a little bit more like he felt in Tampa. Last week was just a weird deal. He was scratching his head too, just going, I don't know what happened. After winning that heat, thought he had a good chance at least making the podium, but now he's obviously back on track. See him right there struggling with those ruts.
On his way to his 2nd heat win in a row, his 2nd heat win of the season. Got a good start at Daytona, just faded to 14th.
Setting up for the triple. These guys are starting to go wide right there to get a run at it. The problem with doing that in the main is there's so much talent right there. If you go wide, you got somebody cutting underneath you.
Ward, the checkers 5 for Larry Ward. The winner of our second qualifying heat. McGrath will take second. Pichon third. And it looks like a clear-cut fourth for Doug Henry. Marty makes his way to meet now with Larry Ward. Is he talking with Roger DeCoster right there? That's coming up next.
Now is the time to train for the career you've always wanted. Just ask Motorcycle Mechanics Institute graduate Al Ludington, now lead mechanic for Honda's championship-winning Smokin' Joe's Superbike team.
MMI gave me the knowledge and training to take me to the top of my profession. It's a great place to start, and I recommend it to anybody looking to kick off a career in motorcycle mechanics or the personal watercraft industry.
Change your life with one phone call, 1-800-994-3664. That's 1-800-994-3664. Call today.
The top men's and women's tennis players in the world battle it out on the hard court at Key Biscayne. The Lipton Championships men's semifinals tonight at 12:30 on ESPN2.
Jeremy McGrath in our second qualifying heat, proving that even the very best in the game, David Bailey, can have their problems.
Well, just trying to cut that corner a little tight. Whoop section just caught him and caught that suspension just wrong and forced him into a tough box. Down he went.
Number 4, Larry Ward, passing him, winning the heat, with Jeremy McGrath finishing up in second place. Mikel Pichon third, Doug Henry in fourth, all qualifying for the main event. Let's go down to Marty.
Yes, with Larry Ward, I'll tell you what, the highs of Tampa last week, the lows at Daytona, I know that's not what you want. Now we're back on the upswing again, right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster the last couple of weeks, but before last weekend I was real consistent. The Suzuki's running really good for me. So they get me good starts, a lot of top fives, a second, and then the win. And put last week behind us and just keep going with that momentum we had.
Seeing Albertine and Jeremy both go down, the track, I mean, it doesn't look that difficult, but, I mean, it seems to be grabbing a lot of people right now.
Yeah, Jeremy, you know, those whoops are tough at the end. You got to shut down a little bit to make that inside on the corner. When you shut up like that, those last couple whoops are big. But Jeremy was riding tough. I was putting a little pressure on him. Stay that close to him in the main event. Maybe he'll crash again, or maybe the Suzuki will just beat him.
We'll see you then.
Thanks.
Time for you to see another Supercross in person. From New Orleans, we head north to Minneapolis on the 21st, and then it's the Trans World Dome in St. Louis. The Silver Dome in Pontiac. On the 18th of April, Supercross invades Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then it's on to Dallas, Texas Stadium, where that telecast will be on ABC. And, of course, we might see Ricky Carmichael on a 250 in that race in Dallas, sports fans. Then it's looking like a sellout, so get your tickets now for the season finale and that 125 shootout as well in Las Vegas. Art Ekman along with David Bailey. And David, those heat races, they proved a lot of action going on. Kevin Windham in front of his hometown fans and family really came through in that first heat.
That's got to feel good. There's always more pressure on you in a hometown situation, dealing with all your friends, the pressure to go out there and perform in front of them. But kind of stole that whole shot away from Lusk, who actually had it in the corner, but more aggressive, perhaps digging a little deeper in front of his friends. And I think he was steady all the way to the end. Sent a message back to the Honda pit saying, I'm not going to fade this time.
Crashes proved immensely important during qualifying.
Right, well, it got the better of Greg Albertine in Heat 1. Going down hard, it looked like he wasn't even going to make it to the semi. Then in Heat 2, Jeff Emmett getting together with Doug Henry going down, getting the short end of the stick there, having to go to the semi, where McGrath, although that crash was spectacular, he had a big enough lead and was able to hold on for second.
The Superdome is so big, you could actually put the Astrodome inside the Superdome if you took out the seats, of course. But it also allows many of the big rigs to get close to the track, and that's where Marty is now.
Well, David Bailey says even when you crash with style. What happened out there?
Well, I was trying to get a new line in the whoops. I was kind of went outside that time and was in fourth gear instead of third. Kind of just easy on the throttle, just stand on the tops, and kind of started moving to the inside, and they got a little peak there, and I just clipped the hay bale, and the hay bale came right out in front of my wheel, and when I got flipped up from the hay bale, I grabbed all front brake and just went over the bars.
It was spectacular. You're okay?
Oh, it didn't hurt at all. I was laughing.
All right, well, we'll see you in the main event, because you still ended up finishing second.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we had a pretty good distance there. Larry was keeping me honest, and kind of screwed up the first lap, and he went around me, and then I got him back and was riding my own deal, trying to figure out my lines, and that happened. So, but hey, after a crash, second's fine.
Come on with me, guys. Let's see if we can catch up with Greg Albertine over here in the Suzuki pit. You can see how close we are to the entire area of the track, and this is really rare for this operation. Normally, the transporters are well outside, and I'm looking to see where Greg is. Ian, where's Greg? Is he up here? Hey, how you feeling? All right, bring me up to date. Take me through what happened on the crash.
Well, I just came through the right hand and hit the jump, and sort of just rebounded me, and obviously I didn't clear it very well, and just spat me on the ground, hit my head pretty hard and hurt my shoulder, but nothing too serious.
You gonna be able to make the semi?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be out there and hopefully put my Suzuki up front.
Well, don't feel bad. I mean, McGrath went down too. I mean, it looks like the track's eating people up.
Yeah, it's kind of tough out there. You know, it's hard and damp in areas, but then pretty slick in other areas. So got to be alert.
All right, guys. Hey, I think I might stay here a while. The couch is kind of comfortable. You don't mind, do you?
Thanks, Marty. The semis are coming up next from New Orleans.
Never before has there been a cruiser as comfortable as the Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. A bike so smooth, so impressive, you'll want the end of the ride to be just the beginning.
A lot of what I know is genetic, like always wear a cup. Never accept a blind date.
Hey, Ma! Your date's here!
And never, ever play with fire, unless you're a god. Like me. Unlike the guy next door, I control the heat. I patrol the meat. When I flip the beef and fly the birds, the men step back. And the ladies step up.
Nice. Shish kebab.
They know I've got boobs. They know the difference between a griller and a grill master. Wow. Ooh.
Grill Master with flame control for sure starts, even heat, and less flare-up. Call for information on our 98 lineup. Grill Master. You can't be one without one.
Phone Patrol from 1-800-COLLECT.
Attention, citizens! I've got big news! 1-800-COLLECT is now 10 cents a minute every evening!
Whoa, 10 cents a minute. That's cheap.
Yep, 1-800-COLLECT. You'll save so much you can buy a new hairstyle, Sonny.
I never thought color calling could be so inexpensive.
Isn't saving money fun?
1-800-COLLECT, 10 cents a minute every evening, all week long.
As we see with the graphic here, not many races have been run in the Superdome, but legendary names have won, like Marty Smith opening up the first win here in New Orleans, followed by Bob Hanna, Steve Wise, and Mike Bell. And then the doubleheader there in 1980, Barnett securing the final victory before the long hiatus before we show up here in the Superdome, David Bailey.
Well, I was only here for 1979. That ran. I was still riding a Bultaco. I didn't make the main, so I got to see everything from the seats. And in fact, I was talking to Cliff White. He was the mechanic for Steve Wise. It was his birthday, and he won that race. Cliff goes, I won my first race in here. So kind of feels good coming back.
Let's go back now to the pit area. Marty Reed.
Tell me the truth. How much can you actually learn watching these tapes?
Quite a bit, I think, if you can see what some of the other guys are doing out there and maybe pick up on some good lines or something.
So, guys, I guess I better take the popcorn and go. It looks like they're trying to work.
30-second board is up. Ryan Hughes getting ready, number 10, with the goggles on. He's in this semifinal trying to make the one of the top 5 positions to get the transfer to the main event, along with Damon Huffman, Phil Lawrence, Ryan Terlicki, and also Greg Albertine.
Packed semi. Once again, Kawasaki seeming to struggle a little bit. All their guys, including Ebbing, having to go to the semis.
30-second board. Went sideways and we're off. Damon Huffman and his teammate Ryan Hughes. Good starts. Huffman edging into the lead. Number 15. Hughes goes to the inside. Albertine got caught up. Albertine caught up in the hay bales. Actually had to cut the corner to get back on the track.
Now getting together with Krein. Had nowhere to go, ran into the tough box, and you're right, Art, he did kind of cut through there. I don't think they'll penalize him for that. He was just stuck, jammed all up in there, had nowhere to go.
Number 24, Phil Lawrence in front of Ryan Hughes, so 3 Kawasaki's out in front. The top 5 get the transfer to the main after our semifinals have concluded.
Kawasaki camp saying this is a little bit more like it, only they needed to see this in the heat race. Huffman and Hughes, definitely they want to see go right from the heat race straight to the main. Phil Lawrence, rather, getting in there and disrupting this factory Kawasaki sweep. Talked to him a little bit before practice, and he said, or between the practice sessions, said he felt comfortable out there, doesn't mind the ruts. Said he's just got to stop crashing, ride the way he does during the week, and then he'll be okay.
The 3 Kawasaki's starting to pull away. Greg Albertine riding a lonely 4th.
Coming into the whoop section, we'll see what happens. Hughes, always so strong, picks a different line.
Hughes having just a little trouble, couldn't get the momentum through those whoops, David.
It looks to me like the Kawasaki's, especially in the practice session, I know they made some adjustments since then, everyone has, but everyone's struggling through there, and the Kawasaki guys in particular, it seemed like the back end was kicking them a lot. It was always throwing the front wheel down into the bottoms, and shoot, who's going to be aggressive through there when you got that kind of a problem going on? You need to set up the suspension a little bit different, balance the bike differently. I talked with Carmichael's mechanic. He said he was trying to run the front end a little bit higher, let the rear end sag more so that you wouldn't feel like it was diving so much.
Good observation, David, as the 3 Kawasaki's now separating each other. Albertine in 3rd. We have to go way back to number 61, Terlicki, in 4th. Or I should say 5th now. Terlicki is in 5th. And Frenet is in 6th. Ryan Hughes, number 10. Rhino in 3rd.
Look, the guys down here in pit lane, you know, we were looking at the watch. It's 55 seconds on that last lap, and the pressure is on the Kawasaki camp. I mean, they have made it plain that they are not happy with the results that they're getting. So them running 1st and 3rd here in the semis is a step in the right direction. But Damon Huffman, Ryan Hughes, and Jeff Emmett, the 3 factory riders, have got to step up the program.
Daytona was the best appearance since the 5th place at Houston for Hughes in that last race, Daytona. Like Michonne, he recovered from a bad start, 13th to finish in 8th place, but injuries have really robbed him of an outstanding season.
Yeah, it seems to be that seems to be the story with Ryan. Now you can see Albertine starting to work his way up, gaining a little bit of time.
Whoa! Albertine once again hitting the deck and slow to get up.
That's why you grip the bike with your knees. It looked like to me he let the bike get loose from his feet, came off the pegs, and he had no way to save it from there. So I was just about to say I was impressed with the fact that he had gotten up from his heat race crash. It looked like he was in a lot of pain. Watch right here. Watch his feet. He can't find the pegs. Pretty far to the back of the motorcycle. His feet come off the pegs. He wasn't gripping the bike. He wasn't far enough forward. When he came down, his toes slipped off the back of the pegs.
And the endo has him still trying to restart. So will he even be physically ready to go to the LCQ? Here's our leader, Damon Huffman. When we return to the Superdome, 5 more riders will qualify for the main event. Stay with us.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, any day you could get into an accident. If you smash them up, Sterling Auto Paint and Body can fix them. It's incredible.
Okay, so maybe it's not that bad, but Sterling Auto Paint and Body can make it like new. Plus, you'll save $50 to $250 off your deductible. And if you don't have a deductible, you still save.
That means everybody saves. I mean everybody. You've never seen anything like it before, and they do it all.
Yes, it's true. Professional color matching, major body work, and mechanical work all at one location. So whether it's a dent or major body work, call Sterling Auto Paint and Body.
Some people have all the luck.
Where did she get those eyes?
Nobody's skin can look that smooth every single day.
And those lips, wouldn't you just die for lips like that?
Being beautiful is easy when you know how. So come into a Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio for a free makeover. You'll discover a few secrets of your own.
Did you see her at the party last night? Yeah. And so did every man in the room.
Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio, Leesburg on Route 7.
A magazine's success starts with the writers.
Get me the lowdown on Jordan. What's his beef with the Bulls? And give me a piece on the Latin influence on baseball. Pedro Martinez, Omar Vizquel, with a preview on all 30 clubs. Comprende? Print it, baby!
Ben Franklin discovered electricity in the sky, but he didn't know that it could be found on ice. He never watched hockey, and now he's dead. Watch the NHL on ESPN2 before life passes you by.
Ekman, David Bailey, Marty Reed from New Orleans. Huffman is our leader with Lawrence in second. Ryan Hughes in third, Terlicki in fourth, and Frenay in fifth. As you see there, the Suzuki leaderboard.
I don't know if it's because this is a semi or if it's just been the problem for the Kawasaki guys, but Huffman should be attacking the track a little bit more than what I'm seeing right here. He's definitely capable of going a lot faster. And it just seems like the Kawasaki guys, except for Ryan, you always expect to see him charging hard no matter what. And Emig seems like he's trying, but it seems like the whole team really is a little bit passive out there, just a little bit apprehensive about going out there and really attacking the racetrack. And I don't know if it's their confidence is down or really what got that started. Maybe it's the bike setup and these guys aren't comfortable, but definitely they got to get the ball rolling here. I thought Emig did that in Daytona by challenging McGrath all the way to the end. I thought that would give the team some confidence.
Lawrence in second place. There's the checkers for Damon Huffman. Boy, they took that white flag down and put the checkers up quick. So Damon Huffman qualifies by winning the semifinal round. More Supercross from the Superdome in New Orleans coming up.
Listen up. Honda dealers are offering 5% financing and no down payment on all new Valkyries.
If your bills are adding up instead of letting up, about 20 minutes is all it takes to turn things around. Call Ames Home Loan. We'll work with you to get the money you want. Good credit or not, we can probably consolidate your bills and lower your overall monthly payments by 50% or more, even get you extra cash. So call Ames at 1-800-326-2626 and cut your monthly bills in half. What if you could see 17 of college basketball's greatest tournament games all in a row? At the buzzer! Now you can, but only if you get Classic Sports Network. 34 straight hours filled with those classic moments you thought you'd never see again.
This is what the tournament is all about.
Join me, Chris Fowler.
Give it up. And me, Bill Raftery.
For the Classic Madness Marathon.
Only on Classic Sports.
The Classic Madness Marathon starts Sunday only on Classic Sports Network.
Albertine has seen a lot of dirt this year, but this is the first time that he will have to go to the last chance qualifier on the season. Number 7, David Bailey.
Right there, getting kicked to the back of the motorcycle, and for the second time going down hard. I can't believe he's really gotten up from either one of these crashes. It'd be amazing if he's in the last chance qualifier.
Amazingly tough athlete as Damon Huffman comes through, winning semifinal number 1. Phil Lawrence in second. Ryan Hughes qualifies for the main event in third. Terlicki in fourth and Frenay in fifth. Let's go down to Marty Reed.
Well, we talked about the pressure during the race that the Kawasaki riders are starting to feel. I guess it's kind of a relief to get the semi-victory.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. You know, I was hoping to do that in my heat. I felt I was riding good, but couldn't quite get up there. But this race had a great start. My Kawasaki's working really good, and I just want to do the same in the main because this is where I should be.
How much pressure are the three of you feeling right now?
Well, you know, we all been struggling a little bit, but we're all physically great. Our bikes are working good. We just need to have a little bit more luck, and you know, this right here helps a lot, and you know, looking forward to the main.
We'll see you then.
Getting set for semifinal number 2, you see number 9, John Dowd. Mike Brown, number 100, who got such a great start, David Bailey, in his heat race. Faded a bit, and boy, I'll tell you, the other riders were right there to take advantage of it, sending into the semifinals.
Well, when you got a heat race with guys like Henry and Emig and Ward, McGrath, it's pretty tough to qualify.
Well, one thing for sure in the Superdome, it's got a lot of floor space for a dome as we take a look at the Suzuki track map.
Well, they brought in a lot of extra dirt. They still couldn't fill the floor space. It's a huge layout. Surprises me that the lap times are in the low 50s. Pretty long starting line into a lot of rhythm sections, plateaus and doubles before the first triple. Another section of all kinds of plateaus, guys doing it different ways, a lot of passing through there. Then the whoop section. Whoop section has really caught a few guys tonight. It caught McGrath in his heat race. Across the starting line onto another triple. Really tough whoop section. Very slow speed, tricky before you get onto the finish line jump to complete the first lap.
John Dowd, Michael Brown, Stefan Roncada, a 125 rider, testing the 250s for the first time this year before getting back into his Western region battle action. Steve Lampson also still trying to qualify for Team Honda. Jean-Sebastian Waugh, number 80, off to the left. Almost ready to go here in the second semifinal round. The gates down, and they're off. Emig with a good lead going into that first turn. So Jeff Emig, who had so much hard luck, gets a challenge from number 100, Michael Brown. Emig rubs a little plastic with him as they go side by side off the cradles.
Well, Emig may be struggling a little bit this year, but one thing I admire is the fact that he hasn't lost his ability to get the whole shot. And to get that whole shot, you've got to want it. When you start struggling a little bit, not everybody wants to go out there and have the lead and then have it taken away.
Emig, Brown, Lampson, and Amaratio is the order, along with Dowd in the 5th position.
We got a great shot of Dowd getting a little bit off balance in the first 5 feet of this race, getting pinched off right out over the gate. Now he's got to come from behind.
This is the battle for second place. Lampson and Emig. What a shot as they come off the triple. Mike Brown still out in front. Second place close, though. Emig along with Lammy and number 9, John Dowd. Then it's Amaratio, number 34, and Roncada, number 18. The top 5, remember, leave the semifinal round with a top transfer spot.
This is amazing right now. Brown is starting to pull away from Emig and Lampson. Brown riding super. Ruts don't seem to bother him much. Now you see Emig just deciding to go for the double while Lampson makes the pass tripling. The face of these jumps, the ruts develop so fast. It's scary. If you don't get lined up just right, you just back it down and play it safe because you'll go right over the bars.
Marty Reed is checking the condition now of Greg Albertine. Marty.
Yeah, and Greg doesn't really feel like talking very much, and quite frankly, after 2 crashes, I don't think I blame him. But let's give you an update. He was testing the grip to see if he could squeeze it. His shoulder is worse than it was before. The only damage to the bike was on the front fork section. It sort of got bent a little bit. They are working on that. They should be ready by the LCQ.
His mechanic Ian Harrison goes right to work as we get back to the action. Emig in 3rd behind Lampson and Brown. Roncada trying to make a move now on John Dowd, and Roncada cuts to the inside. Says he really likes the power of the 250s. He's tried the 250 a few times in Europe with pretty good results. Roncada battling it out bar to bar there for a while. John Dowd getting the angle and getting the triple. Roncada having to double as they both battle behind Jeff Emig, number 1.
He's playing it safe right there. That time Emig going for it. Just really depends on the line you have coming in. You got to get lined up in the right rut. If you get in too deep of a rut, oh, that's what can happen right there. Emig sticking his front wheel into the bottom of one of those jumps.
And Emig does not look like he's going to get up too soon. He landed hard, it looked like, on the shoulder. Or did he put out his arm when he went down? Jeff Emig a candidate now for the last chance qualifier. What a disappointment for Team Kawasaki.
Looks like he's okay, but you can see him shaking his fist right there, going, come on, you know better than that.
Hamming to the left.
Well, he's jumping into the corner. This is the corner just before the whoop section. He goes wide, get a run at it. Starts in, everything's looking good. He'll get about midway. Watch the front wheel. Gets a little crooked. He sticks it down into the bottom. Back in, kicks up. That's what I was talking about in the heat race. The Kawasaki's getting kicked. Kicks him right up and over.
So Michael Brown battling with Lamson for the lead. Steve Lamson, number 17 of Team Honda, right in front of the Honda of Troy of number 100, Michael Brown. So Brown was on his way still to equal his best finish here in the semifinal. Let's see who wins this one as Lamson has moved into first place. More Supercross from the Superdome in New Orleans coming up.
Take everything you ever knew about cruiser motorcycles, everything you ever learned from your older brother, your friends, biker movies, and throw it out. Because the Marauder is a cruiser like no other, one only a high-performance company could have built. The Suzuki Marauder. It's time to move on.
At the track, the crew of 20 keeps my car running at peak performance. But at the Gordon Garage, I'm the crew. So to get every ounce of performance out of the family ride, I use new Slick 50 Synchron Synthetic Fuel System Treatment. It cleans and treats your entire fuel system so your car runs at its best for up to 5,000 miles. Hey, my race car will last to run good for 500 miles.
Use new Slick 50 Synchron Synthetic Fuel System Treatment. It's the 5,000-mile performer. And try new Synchron Synthetic Engine Treatment for premium engine protection.
This weekend, enough racing to make your head spin. Here's what's up ahead this weekend.
David Bailey, we already have 2 single digits in the LCQ.
This is just unbelievable, and I really believe it's due to the soil here in the Superdome. It's not so much that the track is that difficult. It's very similar in terms of the kinds of obstacles that they're facing, but this soil is just clay. It's so sticky, and if you make the slightest little mistake, it just sucks you up.
Look at John Dowd battling it out now with Michael Brown. That's for second place. These two behind Steve Lamson, who's out in front. The white flag is out. The final lap is underway.
Now they're approaching this triple after this right-hand turn. Yeah, both these guys going for the double. At the face of these jumps are really getting rutted now. This has been about the longest duration through the night where they haven't worked the track with a dozer. So what they're seeing is the worst it's going to get all night.
Mike Brown has not done well in his first full year back of the GPs, from the GPs. And look at that. Dowdy blows by him. John Dowd, number 9, coming off the best 250 race of his season at Daytona. He came from 14th to finish 7th in that last round.
Dowd, we saw right off the gate,
The checkers are flying for Steve Lamson.
Dowd got chopped off right away, but fought through it. He's got the whole race in his mind, where Brown has just got those first few laps dialed in.
Those not in the top 5 head for the last chance qualifier, and we'll be back in a moment. Is headed toward his finest finish of the year.
Introducing the new Songbirds of the World singing bird clock from Aetna. The world's most exquisite birds captioned with their scientific names singing authentic bird songs. At the top of the hour, the featured bird sings a melodious tune. Each hour of the day chimed by true-to-life bird songs. Shut off the sound and your bird clock only plays during your waking hours. Start the day with the song of the Japanese yellow bunting. The Songbirds of the World singing bird clock is the fun way to learn to tell time. It's the perfect gift for any bird lover. Bird clocks sell in catalogs for up to $60. Now enjoy the beautiful sounds of nature for just $19.95. So don't let another minute slip by. Order your Songbirds of the World singing bird clock today.
To order the singing bird clock, call 1-800-961-9779 or send $19.95 plus $5.95 shipping to Singing Bird Clock, 6960 Eastgate Boulevard, Lebanon, Tennessee, or call 1-800-961-9779 now.
Of all the roads you can travel in America, there's one that we at Honda are kind of partial to. State Route 4. It takes you to Marysville, Ohio, the place where we build the Honda Goldwing, the finest touring motorcycle in the world.
During Honda's 50th anniversary celebration, we're offering 5% financing and no down payment on all new Goldwings.
Here tonight, we've got two national outdoor champions and the defending Supercross champion going to the LCQ.
Emig right here struggling through the whoops, getting kicked around, got a little bit offline, dropped the front end of the bottom of one of those whoops. Dove right off the racetrack, took a little while to get up. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Meanwhile, these five advancing to the main event: Steve Lamson, John Dowd, Mike Brown, Stefan Roncada in his first 250 race, and John Sebastian Waugh. Let's go down to Marty.
Yeah, guys, I'm just going to start congratulating guys for surviving the whoops. I mean, this track is eating people up.
Yeah, the hoops are especially, really tough. They're long set, they're really tacky, they're kind of getting cupped out, so you bring some momentum into them, and sometimes it'll catch you off guard and flip you right over the bars and put you on the ground.
What about this main event? I mean, this track is really tacky, but yet it's rutting, and now you've got the 125 main coming up, and then yours to follow for 20 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think the main thing is going to be going out there and putting 20 consistent laps together and not crashing, because there's going to be a lot of people on the ground, especially like you said in the hoops. They're really tough tonight.
I think the operative word there, guys, was not crashing.
That's right, Marty. That's for sure. Our next telecast comes to you from the Metrodome in Minneapolis. Always a great crowd to greet us there. That event will show on ESPN2 on April 4th, Saturday at 4 p.m. Ricky Carmichael, the 125 Eastern Phenom, who's won 4 out of 4 races in his division so far, leads the parade of riders in tonight's 125 main event. That's coming up next.
Who does your broker work for? Do they have a sales quota? Do they try to sell you proprietary products? Not a First Montauk broker. At First Montauk, you'll get the full benefits of a large brokerage house. But as one of the nation's leading independent firms, we have no sales quotas and no proprietary products. So you don't have to wonder who First Montauk brokers work for. They work for you. Call Rick Newman for a free evaluation of your portfolio at 589-1100.
The biggest night in sports entertainment. The baddest man on the planet. On March 29th, the two greatest attractions in pay-per-view history collide in one colossal event as Iron Mike returns to the ring. WrestleMania. Tyson. Live Sunday, March 29th, only on pay-per-view.
Yeah, Ted, let me put you on speaker. Hey, Netboy, tell my agent what you told me.
Well, if you access my Zone Games customized box score that compiles a player's net worth, you'll see that Mr. Salmon's RBIs put him well ahead of Sammy Sosa in fantasy baseball ranking, yet Sosa earns $5 million more.
What? Can you believe that?
Don't worry, Tim. I'll give Bavasi on the blower.
Of course, Ted, it's just a fantasy baseball.
Shut up, Netboy.
Look, I'm your agent, Tim. Let me take care of this. Shut up, Netboy.
While we were away, the 4-lap last chance qualifier just finished up with, it's hard to believe, but the defending champion Jeff Emig having to go to the LCQ. He won it. He is in the main event along with Mike Caton. And, of course, Albertine having to pull out of that last chance qualifier after crashing. Ricky Carmichael now surveying the track for the 125 main event coming up. And Rookie having a tough time out of it as well, going to the last chance qualifier for the 125s, even though he's won 4 out of the 4 races in the 125 East so far this year. Let's go down to Marty.
Down here with Ricky Carmichael, first time this year that you've had to go to the last chance to get it into the main event. You're not going to have the best starting position. Is it going to change the way you ride the race?
Not really. It's kind of like a challenge, you know. I don't have a good gate pick, so I'm just going to try to pull the whole shot from here.
All right, guys, he's still wearing the same helmet that he had last week at Daytona. Remember his original one, the best one, got ripped off, and he won the last race by 37 seconds. He said, I don't have to worry about changing it.
Taking a look at the Suzuki point standings, RC dominating with a 21-point lead on Robbie Raynard. Lytle currently leading the Honda of Troy FMF Honda support teams, 3 points over Sellers. 125 riders still out on the track, David Bailey, and Ricky's taking his time.
All these guys are taking their time, really, and Ricky especially. Always takes a lot of time to see what's developed, see what the dozers have changed, working the track a little bit, try to get rid of some of the ruts out there. It makes a big difference if you just take a moment longer to look at something. It may help you every lap out there. If it only helps you a quarter of a second here after 15 laps, that adds up.
I remember Jeremy McGrath having to go to the LCQ in the 250s and coming back and winning a 250 main event here at Supercross. Everybody's asking, can Ricky Carmichael do that? How does a start here in the Superdome affect him as we take a look at the starting grid?
I don't think too bad, Art, because he's lined up pretty far to the outside. Not the best place. That's not where he would line up if he had his choice, but he just saw Jeff Emmett get the whole shot from the far outside gate, even in a worse pick than he has. You can see right here, rehearsing one more time. He's going to need to get out over the gate and get a good jump. If he does, he can get the whole shot.
Ricky Carmichael is the only rider in the main event to win a 125 main. And by the way, this is the first 125 race to be held in the Superdome ever, David. Back when we were last here, the 125s were not racing the support class. Chad Watts, we've got a mic on him.
Ride relax. That's what you got to do. You get that curve and then through there, ride your own race. You don't get the start you want. You got to get up there. Come out here, you show them who the man is. We all know who it is. Have fun, win this.
Chad Watts.
Tell him to relax. He's the man.
32nd board is up now. Robbie Raynard, Brock Sellards, Bogard, Keeney, Vallejo, Clowers, Lytle, Perolio, Nice, Pavolny, Curry, Thomas, Bentley, LaRusso, Shue, Duff, Skaggs, Smith, along with Ricky Carmichael and Charles Dunaway and Jeff DeMint. 32nd board is up. When that goes sideways, they've got from 5 to 10 seconds. That gate could drop at any time.
Reaching down to check the gas one more time. Chad telling him he can win this sucker. He's just got to ride his own race. If he doesn't get a good start, get up there quick, make good decisions.
So the very first 125 Supercross race ever in New Orleans is underway. And it's Ron Cotton, number 112.
Tommy Clowers, as a matter of fact, at 112, going off the racetrack. Skaggs getting caught up in that jam, and Carmichael's way back as well.
Vallejo is out in the lead right now of Takane Kawasaki. And Bentley in second place, so triple digits are out in front.
Great opportunity for these guys. Raynard's back in the pack as well with Carmichael. Carmichael just ahead of him. Beautiful shot of Carmichael coming out of the gate. He carried the front wheel. The wheel didn't even touch the ground 3/4 of the way to the first corner, and it still wasn't good enough.
Carmichael in 8th place as we watch him come through the whoops very carefully. There's Ricky, number 6.
You can see Ricky looking over, too. He wasn't even looking where he was going. He's looking over to see who was out front, who he's going to have to deal with.
Vallejo still in the lead with Bentley in second. Nice is in third. Sellards in fourth.
You get a shot just behind Carmichael, number 21, Raynard right there. This is going to be awesome. These guys are together, and I guarantee you they're both going to the front.
Right now he's in a battle with Curry, and that doesn't make it look like a battle at all as he sails by number 50 Curry into 6th place. Ricky Carmichael on the move. Raynard's going to make an exciting race of it, David.
Raynard followed him.
Here's the leader, Vallejo, about ready to be passed.
It's a tricky section coming into a tight left. Oh, Vallejo going down.
Bentley
caught
takes
up.
over easily. Jimmy Neese, number 42. There's Vallejo, number 277.
Already Carmichael with a horrible start going by Vallejo.
Bentley, a big surprise this season, is now in the lead. In 5th place, Ricky Carmichael. Behind the 2 Honda riders, Sellards and Lytle. Bentley, Neese, Sellards, Lytle, and RC. That's our order now. With all kinds of time, 13 laps to go. Derek Bentley, as we mentioned, big surprise this year. Got the whole shot in the opener. He won an LCQ, and in the last 2 races has done very well, going from 14th to 7th at Tampa. Got a 3rd place start at Daytona, finally ended up in 8th place. Can he hold on now? Vallejo becomes a victim of Ricky Carmichael, number 6.
Well, Vallejo had actually already been passed by Carmichael, and he's still putting the challenge to him.
Here comes Neese trying to put the pressure on our leader, Bentley. Oh, we've got an exciting 125 race underway. Can Carmichael continue the show? We'll be right back after this. AMA Supercross is being brought to you by Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. Quality training for the motorcycle industry.
Suzuki has completely restyled the Katana 600 and 750, from their dual halogen headlights to their 4-in-1 stainless steel exhausts.
Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
So now they're just as impressive on the outside as they've always been on the inside.
Virtually everyone who applies for this Visa credit card will be approved. If you meet these minimum requirements, you will be approved for this unsecured Visa credit card. This means you're not required to pay a security deposit to obtain your Visa credit card, even if you've been turned down before and regardless of your past credit history. Now you can be approved for the credit you need with no security deposit required. This is a limited time offer. Find out if you're among the thousands who will be approved for this no-risk unsecured Visa credit card. Call our toll-free number now.
RPM tonight, Monday through Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 12 and 8, only on ESPN2.
Art Ekman, David Bailey, Marty Reed. The 125 main event continues as our leader is Bentley. Neese is in 2nd place as you see him come over the finish line jump. Sellards, Lytle, and Ricky Carmichael. That's Ricky Carmichael, number 6.
Going by Lytle right there, all the way down that straightaway on the inside.
Lytle, number 33, trying to keep up with Ricky. He goes to the outside. There you see Brock Sellards, number 36, who's in 3rd place.
Just behind Ricky still. Just there coming into the corner in the blue. That's Raynard. Keeping an eye on Carmichael. Lytle going down.
Oh, Lytle. 2 riders. Sellards, I believe, as well.
Sellards, I believe, went down, took Lytle with him.
So both Hondas hit the deck in the whoop section. Sellards trying to get back into the action, number 36.
Both Carmichael and Raynard had just made their move. Oh, just in time. If they'd have still been behind him, they may have gotten collected in that crash as well. Raynard staying glued to Carmichael. I like this. Raynard, to me, has always struck me as since he gets a little nervous out front, has trouble riding his own race, now he can keep the pressure on. He's got nothing to lose.
He's checking out Ricky's lines. He's got the same amount of speed right now. Bentley is out in front. Neese in 2nd. Ricky Carmichael in 3rd. Raynard in 4th. And Vallejo now in 5th. There's Neese, number 42. There's Raynard. Raynard passing Ricky Carmichael.
Carmichael making a little bobble in the triple. Looked like he was going to try for it. Just did the double, lost a lot of momentum. And
watch Carmichael in the whoop section. Can he take him back? Raynard splitting through very nicely.
What a great battle for the lead now. All 4 of these guys so tight.
Bentley, Nice to the inside. Look at Carmichael. Put the crunch on Raynard. Oh!
Boy, he just went out there and parked him. He did that on purpose. So something Raynard did must have irritated him a little bit, because he made a very blatant, went out there and just took the line away, even looked at him like saying, nope, you're not getting through here.
So even though Bentley, there you see him with a 500 number, leading Jimmy Nice, number 42. Ricky Carmichael now is within striking distance with 10 laps to go. The battle for first is on. Carmichael to the inside on Nice.
Tried for the triple right there, landed hard. He's taking his chances right now.
Nice. How long can he hold Carmichael off? Here comes Ricky Carmichael in the whoops. Makes the pass. Can he take two in the whoops? Yes, Ricky Carmichael, phenomenal performance.
Right through the middle, right between those guys. He is the man. Chad was right.
Goodness.
So far, anyway, the main's not over with. Seen him mess up in the heat race. Had to go all the way to the last chance qualifier. This track, just when you think you got it, jumps up and grabs you.
59.3 lap time, David.
Yeah, the lap times has slowed considerably.
And Raynard trying to get through. He's past Jimmy Nice. He's trying to get around Bentley right now.
This is where he needs to get around. If he wants any shot at staying with Carmichael, challenging for the lead late in this race, he's got to make his pass and stay with him, because once Carmichael gets gone, starts riding his own race, taking lines that you can't take when you got somebody pressuring you, he can pull away.
Robbie Raynard in his 6th pro season, finally matching his speed with consistency. Unfortunately, there's a guy out there named Ricky Carmichael. Here comes 21 moving into 2nd place. But does Carmichael have too much of a lead with 9 laps to go in the race? The 125 main event, our leader doing the triple. Ricky Carmichael got a big bounce when he landed.
Yeah, it's the way this soil is, like I said earlier, even if you jump the triple right and land on that downside, it still just sucks you up when you land. He landed so hard right there. It's not even really worth it to go for it.
56.8 lap time on the last lap for Carmichael.
Well, he shaved a lot of time off that time just by having a clear track and being able to do both triples. That's a lot slower than what they were running earlier in the heat races.
Number 21, Robbie Raynard, with 3 seconds and an eighth. Raynard would be leading this 125 East if it was last year, but Ricky Carmichael out in front. Well, he's going to set the record maybe for consecutive wins to start a season in the 125 East division.
Look at him through the whoops, just keeping it flat. You can see the difference between Carmichael staying on the top versus Raynard right there, dropping down into the bottoms of some of those. He picked it up back there through the last 4 or 5 into the corner. He's trying to stay in contact with Ricky. He's got to put pressure on. This is like, I think, what Larry Ward did to Jeremy McGrath in his heat race. Stay there. Make Carmichael think about you a little bit. Maybe you can change the outcome here.
Not a 3-second lead for number 6 over number 21. Ricky Carmichael taking his own lines.
And he's so aggressive. He just attacks the track.
Suzuki leaderboard, Carmichael, Raynard, Bentley now in 3rd with Nice in 4th. And Tyler Evans showing up in the top 5, number 417. His greatest race of his young career.
Ricky just starting to get into his groove now, going for the triple, making it no problem down that straightaway in that rhythm section, jumping all the way over the plateau and the next jump, the way he was doing earlier. Not as good through the whoops that time, but still aggressive.
After such an easy win at Daytona, as Marty Reed pointed out, 37+ seconds. He won by Daytona and having the most challenging night so far of this season. Our Honda stopwatch gives us about a 6-second advantage now for Carmichael.
Yeah, over that last lap and a half, he pulled out so much time just by jumping the triples. He's still going for him. Raynard isn't. Plus, Ricky's got a couple other lines out there where he's able to pull away time. And consider this, towards the end of this race, if Ricky doesn't get tired, I'll be a little bit surprised. I know he's in great shape, but he's ridden every lap tonight.
Now that's amazing. Working out with Ezra Lusk at that practice track has really benefited both riders, even though one's wearing green and the other one red, and in 2 different divisions. The lapper's in the way of Ricky Carmichael. He just breezed by, takes the line he wants.
He anticipates pretty good. In that last chance qualifier, he was buried in the pack. Took his time, weeded his way through everybody, and came out to win it. Didn't look like he was even going to have a chance of getting the top 3 just by making good decisions out there. He's putting himself in the right place to make those passes, just like he did for the lead, going right between both LaRusso through the whoops to take the lead. That was just amazing.
6 laps to go. The white flag and checkered flags will be flying when we come back to the Superdome in New Orleans.
Line up every ATV Honda has ever built, and they would stretch from our factory in Ohio to the deserts of California. But in 28 years, we've never built one like this. The first ATV with ESP, push-button electric shift program, full digital display, and the most powerful engine we've ever put in an ATV. The Honda Foreman ES. We've just added something new to a very long line.
If your bills are adding up instead of letting up, about 20 minutes is all it takes to turn things around. Call Ames Home Loan. We'll work with you to get the money you want. Good credit or not, we can probably consolidate your bills and lower your overall monthly payments by 50% or more, even get you extra cash. So call Ames at 1-800-326-2626 and cut your monthly bills in half.
Ben Franklin discovered electricity in the sky, but he didn't know that it could be found on ice. He never watched hockey, and now he's dead. Watch the NHL on ESPN2 before life passes you by.
A 9-second lead here in the 125 main for Ricky Carmichael, Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
Now he's got a different line through there. He doesn't jump the triple, he jumps the complete opposite timing. He's trying to get all the faces, the takeoffs that he's jumping from to be the ones without the ruts in them. Now you see Raynard still holding on to second, but losing about 1.5 seconds a lap. Not that much, but plenty when he added up to 15 laps. There you see him changing his mind right there. Get through the lappers in the whoop sections.
Carmichael slowing down a bit. 58.9 the lap time as Raynard trying to catch up. It would be his 4th second-place finish out of 5 races this year.
That's got to be frustrating.
Well, Jim Ferry won this division last year with second places. Did not have a win. Bentley, 3rd place. And Bentley's had a very interesting year. He got the whole shot in the first race and ended up 21st. A 13th. He won the LCQ in Tampa and came back for a 7th in the main event and is coming off an 8th place main event at Daytona.
Look at his handlebar. They're higher up than Carmichael's. I thought Carmichael had his the highest. I think Bentley just topped him. He's got him higher and he's got the levers pointed straight out. And it's hard when you got the levers pointed straight out to keep your elbows up a little bit and still be able to get to him, because you've got to sort of drop your arms to reach your fingers out there. You've seen a little bit of an uncomfortable position, I think.
With Ricky Carmichael in the lead in the 125 with about 4 laps to go. Let's go down to Marty.
Yeah, we're down here with Chad Watts. Chad, we noticed he stopped going for the triples. Did you tell him that on the signboard?
Not directly. I told him to start riding smarter and the race of track. So he don't need to be doing the triples. He's getting pretty ruddy right now, and he's doing the right thing.
Guys, this is the difference from last year to this year. Last year, he wouldn't have followed the signboard instructions.
Yeah, he got pretty over-aggressive last year in his rookie year as a pro, but said he's learned a lot. Well, Mitch Payton told him to make all the mistakes he wanted to make his first season. The second year, go out after the number one plate.
Now, Ricky learns fast. He doesn't make the same mistake twice.
So it's Raynard in second, followed by Bentley, and Tyler Evans in 4th. Jimmy Neese now in 5th.
Carmichael coming up to lap Lytle and Flowers.
Checking the Suzuki leaderboard, exactly what we said. Tyler Evans out of Salinas, California. It's going to be a thrill of his racing career so far. And Ricky Carmichael now 12-second advantage.
Well, he's not pulling away that much, just a little bit each lap. Raynard's still pushing, but I think right now he realizes this race is pretty much over. He's going to get second unless Carmichael goes down.
Carmichael just passing Flowers, number 112, has number 541 as his next target on the last 3 laps.
You can see him staying right on the tops of those whoops. Doesn't ever drop down in. Now you can see plus 18. Be smart.
Breathe. A 1-minute lap time. So he's taking it easy after gaining the big lead.
All he's got to do is make sure that his margin stays the same, maybe even grows a little bit. As long as it does, he's not going to push and take any unnecessary chances. Right there, you see him looking back at the flagger.
White flag is flying, and Taylor Evans has moved into third. So as we take a look at the runaway here for Ricky Carmichael, Evans is having the race of his life. Final lap for Ricky Carmichael, on his way to setting a new 125 East record.
It's just amazing that his route to this main event, even in some of the heat races, Atlanta, Tampa, going down and having to come from behind, passing these guys, taking over the win on the last lap, doing the same thing here in the last chance qualifier. Doesn't seem like anything can stop him.
Carmichael almost does a high five with all the mechanics. They line up like Earnhardt. Ricky Carmichael, though, taking it easy on his last lap. Is only one turn and the end of this whoop section away from making it 5 out of 5. Ricky Carmichael, the checkers. So Carmichael sets the new record. He's got 8 career wins, but he has broken the 125 East for wins to start a season. 5 straight. The 125 record is 6 straight wins at the beginning of the season, set by Damon Huffman in 1995, and Ricky will try for that as Raynard comes over the finish line in second place. Touring the Dome here in New Orleans, Ricky Carmichael has just won the 125s. We'll be right back with words from Ricky in a moment.
Used to be, you could customize any part of your bike except the tires. But now, create a striking design from the ground up with the bold new Cruise Max from Dunlop. Performance and style with custom options like classic black, wide white, or raised white leather. Whichever design you choose, you'll make a statement without saying a word. Cruise Max from Dunlop.
At the track, the crew of 20 keeps my car running at peak performance. But at the Gordon Garage, I'm the crew. So to get every ounce of performance out of the family ride, I use new Slick 50 Synchron Synthetic Fuel System Treatment. It cleans and treats your entire fuel system so your car runs at its best for up to 5,000 miles. Hey, my race car will last to run good for 500 miles.
Use new Slick 50 Synchron Synthetic Fuel System Treatment. It's the 5,000-mile performer. And try new Synchron Synthetic Engine Treatment for premium engine protection.
Although the GSX-R 750 just won back-to-back AMA Supersport championships, and the GSX-R 600 had the most AMA 600 Supersport victories, we weren't satisfied. We made over 20 major improvements to the 600 and gave the 750 electronic fuel injection. Now even its shadow can't keep up. The GSX-R 600 and the GSX-R 750 from Suzuki.
The tallest mountain in North America is 20,320 feet. Cool.
The 125 concluded. Ricky Carmichael makes it 5 out of 5 on the season. Robbie Raynard in second place. Tyler Evans in his second main event of the year. He got a 12th in Daytona. He makes the podium, number 417 in third. As we look at 6 through 10, let's go down to Marty and hear from the winner.
Well, you managed to make this a little more interesting than usual, and you set a record in the process. Are you aware of that?
No, I ain't aware that I set a record. I'll tell you what, the 5 in a row couldn't be better, and I'm stoked.
Well, the 5 in a row is the best by an East rider. If you win the next week, you'll tie Huffman for 6 in a row.
I'll tell you what, it'd be nice, you know, but I'm going to go home. I got a weekend off, and I'm going to go home and do the same thing I've been doing. And I'm not going to change nothing because it's working. And my heat race wasn't good at all. And the last chance wasn't that good, even though I won. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I could pull it out in the main.
All All right, congratulations. Let's move right next door. Bring in Robbie Raynard. Robbie, second place. This is the only guy you can't beat.
Yeah, sooner or later I'm going to get him. It's just going to take time. I was out there going good, and I just when I caught Carmichael, I passed him, and he kind of got underneath me, kind of moved me, and I just kind of lost a little bit of my drive, tried to pick it back up, but when he got out front, I didn't get on him right away, and I just couldn't keep up.
Once you lose that rhythm, is that it for you? I mean, because it seems like that's what's happened a couple of the races here lately. Once he gets by you and you lose that contact, you can't get it back.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble. I don't have as much confidence as like him. I just got to build that. It's getting better and better. I'm getting more comfortable. So it's just gonna take time, you know. He has all the confidence in the world, so I'm just gonna go out there and do the best I can.
Robbie Raynard, second place.
Taking a look at the Suzuki point standings now, Robbie. He's trying his best, but he just can't catch up to RC, who's a perfect 125 points, trailing now by 24 points. Robbie Raynard, Sellards moving into third place in the point standings with the trouble that Lytle had during this race here in the Superdome.
Hey, Tyler, first time we've seen you on the podium this year. Congratulations on third place.
Thank you very much.
Tell me about the ride. What was the difference here in this main? Because a lot of guys were going down in that whoop section.
Yeah, the whoop section was my strong point. I went down in the first corner and I charged my hardest and it paid off.
What about the rest of the season? It looks like nobody can catch Ricky Carmichael. Are you guys duking it all out for second place in this field?
Yep, that's how it's going to be all year.
A man with a sense of reality, guys.
Ricky Carmichael celebrates the big guys, the 250s. Coming up next from the Superdome in New Orleans.
Healthy by Nature is more than a health food store. They go the extra mile for their customers.
At Healthy by Nature, we provide a variety of services like in-store seminars, bioenergy consulting, massage, and a complete education center.
We have a fantastic selection of organic groceries where our customers can do one-stop shopping.
As an owner, I make sure every customer that walks out of this store is completely delighted.
We're serious about your health, but we're also serious about having fun. You're going to love our atmosphere.
Original floor plans for comfortable living and quality appointments throughout are a couple of reasons why Loudoners have chosen the Villages at Round Hill. Oak Hill Properties is the creator of this fantastic new residential community. Now your family can move in within 30 days. Sensibly priced with all of the extras and quality through every room. Villages at Round Hill now features townhomes in addition to their beautiful single-family homes. Come and see the Villages at Round Hill, presented by Oak Hill Properties. Oak Hill Properties is an equal housing opportunity.
For most people, springtime is a time of peace. It's a time of natural beauty and flowers and such. But for the baseball player, it's a time of impatience. He's got the fire in his belly. That's what springtime is. It's the quiet in the field before the war.
Ricky Carmichael in the 125s had to go to the last chance qualifier, came back and won the 125 race. Can number one Jeff Emig, after so much trouble and having to go through the LCQ, David Bailey, come back and win this main?
Well, I think so. Carmichael just proved he could do it. He's on a Kawasaki. Emig's figuring, okay, why should it be any different for me? McGrath has done it before, and he got a little bit more time out there in the racetrack. These guys are in good enough shape that it shouldn't affect him. He's taken a long enough look at this track to make sure that he's got every line up his sleeve he can have.
As we see the field surveying the track, let's go down to Marty Reed.
Well, guys, you were mentioning, can Emig do this again? I just talked to Jeremy Albrecht, his mechanic, to find out how he felt physically. He says, well, he's already been sore and banged up from before, but now he's got a real tough bruise that's really going to lock up on him tomorrow on his right forearm, but he says he'll be able to get through the race tonight. But I didn't sound like they were real confident about him pulling off Ricky Carmichael.
Number two, Jeremy McGrath, also having trouble in his qualifying heat. Big crash, endoed, rather picturesque type of move. but came back to take second in that heat. As we take a look at the point standings, it is McGrath by 56 points. He has just dominated this season with great racing. Ezra Lusk and Kevin Windham battling it out for second, a difference of only 3 points there. Jeff Emig 10 points in back of them. So the Suzuki grid, we check out all the riders. Kevin Windham could be one of the favorites here tonight. Larry Ward, number 4. Damon Huffman.
Both Windham and Ward taking their heat races, no problem. I was impressed with Windham. He had a lot of pressure from Lusk. And Lusk has usually won that battle, but not tonight. I think it's good that it's a hometown race for Windham, because what I've seen from him so far is he's been riding smart. He's been consistent. He's been up there, and as he pointed out, he's the only rider besides McGrath to not finish in the 2 digits. And it's his first year. That's what he's trying to do. But here tonight, with more pressure, he may dig just deep enough to go out there and come out with a win.
Randy Lawrence is McGrath's mechanic. Randy with not too much to say yet.
All right, you know how many we need.
I think Randy's a lot more talkative without a microphone on. What a great relationship these two have. A great friendship.
Good friends. And anytime you see somebody doing good at anything that they're doing, you can see that they're having fun doing it. These guys are always smiling, joking around a little bit. You saw a lot of that last year from Jeremy Albrecht and McGrath, Jeff Emig, rather. Always having a good time cutting up. Of course, when you're winning, once you start winning, it's easy to be like that. But right now, we're seeing it a little bit more intensity from Emig and Jeremy, but they still see him laughing a little bit every once in a while. And anybody that's kind of given up or sort of switched away from Emig and over to McGrath now, Emig is a fighter. This guy has been on the turf hard. He's had a lot of problems, and he's still out there fighting, even after the last year's qualifier.
32nd board is up. Randy Lawrence saying goodbye to Jeremy McGrath, the winner of 5 of the last 6 races. He's missed the podium only once this year. Ezra Lusk just to his side.
There's a great look from Emig's point of view. He's way to the outside.
And you can still hear Randy Lawrence cheering for his rider now as the board is almost ready to go sideways. It is sideways. We will start here in the Superdome for the first time in 18 years. Supercross returns to New Orleans.
McGrath getting cut off right off the bat.
Windham, the whole shot. Gets a standing ovation from his friends and family here in Louisiana. Huffman is right behind him, though, and Larry Ward battles with Huffman for second place, side by side. Ward cuts in front. Good power by the Team Suzuki rider. Larry Ward trying to catch up with number 8, Kevin Windham.
Beautiful move by Ward, just like he did in his heat race. Stealing second from Emig right away. Here, attacking Windham, trying to show him a wheel, cutting to the inside there. Both heat race winners out to the best starts. There's Lusk, little ways back.
Windham, Ward, Huffman, Pichon, and McGrath is our official order right now. But Windham is out in front, has got this crowd excited. Larry Ward knows he can win now after his first win in something like 18 years at Tampa. He took that first victory in Seattle back in 1990. And so it was 7 years later that Larry Ward, or 8 years later, that Larry Ward became victorious again, and once again on a Suzuki. Ward staying close with Windham.
This is what he's got to do. He's got to pressure him, not let Windham get comfortable. As soon as he gets comfortable, he's gone, because McGrath, Lusk, his toughest challengers, at least so far this year, are still pretty far back in the pack. So it's up to Ward right now to put the pressure and try to take the race away from the hometown favorite.
Pichon is getting radical. And a battle with him and Jeremy McGrath. Let's go to Marty.
Well, guys, you were talking about Larry Ward. Remember the comment that was made after Windham's heat race win? And it was a matter of that they didn't feel that he could go the full deal. It was the Honda crew, Ezra Lusk, finishing second. And that's why they said that he can't go 20 laps. Well, we're going to find out tonight.
Lusk is in 7th place right now as we take a look at our leaders battling it out. Larry Ward and Kevin Windham side by side. So close they can rub plastic. Windham gets the corner first. Oh, my goodness gracious. Kevin Windham and Ward off the triple.
Well, Ward keeps going down that straightaway all the way on the inside. If he doesn't get around him before that, Windham's going to have to cover that line.
Larry Ward's having fun right now. He's picking his spots, coming through the whoops. Kevin Windham working hard. Just barely holds on to that lead here in the Superdome.
I don't think these guys are looking behind them right now, but if they do, they're going to see that McGrath has moved into third.
McGrath moving in front of Pichon in fourth.
They're going to need to step it up a little bit because McGrath is coming.
Okay, it's Windham, Larry Ward, McGrath in third, some 4 seconds back. Pichon in fifth. Then it's Huffman, it's Craig, it's Henry, and it's LaRocco.
And this time, smart move. Windham down that straightaway all the way on the inside. He learned. Really like Wyndham's style out there. Young kid. Seems to have a good head on his shoulders. Rides smart, very consistent, pretty flashy when he needs to be. Potentially could win his first Supercross here, the way he's riding so far. He's got the crowd on his side. Ward a little out of shape right there.
Here comes McGrath, number 2, and number 16 is Team Suzuki's Mikel Pichon.
Lap times right now are about 54 seconds. That last lap was 54 and a half. McGrath is continuing to close just a little bit, and that'll change the complexion of this race up front. Ward's going to get impatient.
Our leaderboard, you don't see Ezra Lusk right there on the Suzuki leaderboard right now because he tangled with Hughes. He's in 16th, Hughes in 20th. But it's Windham and Ward, 1 and 2. That's the battle we're focusing in on right now.
And Lusk dropping back to 16th. He's only 1 spot ahead of Jeff Emick, so both those guys are struggling here tonight.
Windham had only led 1 lap on the season so far coming into this race.
What a great battle. Ward just relentless.
Ward led 20 laps. And of course that was in the race he won at Tampa. Gate to flag for Larry Ward, and Ward is just waiting for him to make a mistake, nipping the hay bale or the tough box there.
These guys riding on the edge, doing whatever they can do to find a good line, try to get somewhere over a jump or into a corner without hitting a rut. That time flipping the bale, dropping the lap times now. The last lap, 53. The pace picking up. Partially the fact they're getting a little bit more comfortable out there on the racetrack, and also the fact they can see number 2 coming strong.
Now a 2-second lead for Windham over Ward, and McGrath about 1.5 seconds behind Ward. It's starting to string out as Kevin Windham now is starting to pull a lead. Here comes McGrath on Ward.
Ward made a big mistake back there, lost a little bit of time, and behind him, Pichon and Huffman putting in a good ride.
Here's the battle for second, number 4. Larry Ward, number 2 on the Chaparral Yamaha.
Ward coming from the outside of that whoop section, just grazing the front wheel of McGrath.
There's Jeremy McGrath. McGrath cutting to the inside. Can he take over second place? Yes! Will he hold second place? Ward likes to come back hard.
Another lap time from Windham, just under 54, down to the 53.7. He's going to need to keep those going and really fight. He's going to have to earn this one. McGrath is not going to give it to him.
Now less than 14 laps remaining. Ali Seymour, the mechanic of Kevin Windham. And McCollum, the mechanic of Larry Ward. Windham, McGrath, Ward, Pichon, and Huffman, the order.
Still going for the triple. It's going to get worse towards the later part of this race. Last 5 laps or so, it's going to get interesting because some of the lines these guys right now are taking are going to change. It's whoever's a little bit more brave, taking a little bit more chances, making better decisions in the lappers. It's going to come out on top. Ward losing a little bit of time to McGrath, but still staying in contact.
This track, though, can eat you alive. We'll see if the order's the same when we return to the Superdome in New Orleans.
News of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, a crowd of two-wheeled enthusiasts gathers at the Honda factory in Marysville, Ohio. From all over America, they've come to see the unveiling of Honda's latest motorcycle. Today, we are proud to introduce to you the Honda Shadow Aero. The bike seems to be a real hit with the crowd. Isn't she beautiful, folks? And why not? This thoroughly modern motorcycle sports the latest in streamlined design, wide handlebars, deluxe floorboards, and its sleek exhaust pipe looks like something right out of the pages of science fiction. And here's Miss Aero showing off the bike's dazzling choice of colors. The Honda Aero is available today. And what's the verdict in Marysville? There you have it, and it's full speed ahead for the bike of tomorrow.
A magazine's success starts with the riders.
Get me the lowdown on Jordan. What's his beef with the Bulls? And give me a piece on the Latin influence on baseball. Pedro Martinez, Omar Vizquel, with a preview on all 30 clubs. Comprende? Print it, baby!
In front is number 35, Pedro Gonzalez. Pedro Gonzalez, Wyndham is back in the middle of the pack. Ethan Ramsey flies through the air from Team Suzuki out of Hickson, Tennessee. He's battling with Pedro Gonzalez out of Monterrey, Mexico.
Wyndham, look at him, just carved through the pack. He just passed Ron Carr, that's 112.
In 6th place, now moves into 5th as they go over the finish line jump.
Okay, oh, Wyndham's off the track.
Oh! Wyndham suffering a bad start in Los Angeles, and now he gets cut from behind. Oh, down goes Ramsey, and Ron Carter runs right over him. That gives Decker a great opportunity in 3rd. The checkers for David Development. Kevin Wyndham out in front. Our 250 main event, Wyndham looking for his first win of the season, his 2nd career win. You might remember Charlotte last year as a part-time 250 rider. And McGrath just banging the turf hard coming off the jump.
There you get a good look from his view as he comes out of that right-hander. After he came up short on that triple, he gets to see all the way down that straightaway to Wyndham, the leader, heading to the left before the whoops. As long as you got the guy in sights, I always talk about that. It helps you a little bit to keep pushing.
54.6 the lap time. Larry Ward trying for his 3rd podium. And here's Jeremy McGrath, number 2. It's McGrath in 2nd place, trying to catch up with Kevin Wyndham. Wyndham over the finish line jump as Jeremy goes into that corner. Let's go to Kevin Wyndham, number 8, looking smooth so far.
Still holding his lead over McGrath. If he can do that, and he knows McGrath's in 2nd now. And whenever this happened to me, and I saw that I was in 1st, and usually Johnson chasing me down, I see him move into 2nd. If I could maintain that margin for a few laps, I got the confidence to stop worrying about it. But when you see him closing quick, right away you go into the defense mode.
About a 4-second lead for Kevin Wyndham, number 8. Boy, would this be a storybook ending. Larry Ward in 3rd, along with Pichon, 2 Team Suzuki riders.
Pichon on the move here. You see back there Huffman just behind these guys. Huffman and Pichon both starting to close now. Ward may find himself riding a little bit defensive. Not thinking about McGrath anymore, who's starting to pull away, but more about his teammate Pichon coming strong.
Pichon in Daytona went from 12th to 6th. A good charge.
Yeah, he's good at coming from behind. We used to, I think, get on his case a little bit for not being in good enough shape, but he has definitely proven us otherwise lately. Showing a lot of strength and reserve.
Wyndham has a 7-second lead now on Jeremy McGrath. We're looking at the 3rd place rider, Larry Ward, number 4, and the guy right behind him, number 16, Mikel Pichon.
Ward that time just going for the double, Pichon tripling, so he's making some time there. Wyndham over the triple clean. It comes down to a time in the race, Art, where what you got to do is just keep doing all the obstacles. You start getting really tired. The best thing you can do is just keep doing all the obstacles and just be consistent in the track. As soon as you make a mistake out there and can't do a triple, that's enough right there. That one mistake during a lap costs you about 2 or 3 seconds.
Huffman in 5th place, number 15, Team Kawasaki. Kawasaki's best position rider so far in this race. Henry is right behind him as we hit the halfway point of the race. So Wyndham has done an outstanding job in opening up a lead on Jeremy McGrath at the halfway mark. Seems like, though, those next laps, the next 10 laps are the most difficult.
Well, you know what happens in a Supercross is it takes 10 or 15 laps to get to the part of the race where the race really begins. That's where the tough part comes in. That's where your homework during the week really pays off. Hughes having a problem at the end of the whoops. The guys that go out and practice 20-lap mains during the week and think they got it all handled for the race, that doesn't really cut it. You got to go out there and go 25 or 30 laps and know that you can go the distance. But the race is always harder than what you're doing during the week.
Do you think with all the press and the excitement, the build-up of Kevin Windham now having a home track here in his home state of Louisiana gave him that adrenaline rush that gave him the aggressiveness that we see here that we haven't seen in good, consistent performances, though, in the past?
Right. I think there's two things contributing. One is, as you mentioned, the fact that he's got a little bit extra pressure, and I pointed that out before we got to the main. Henry and LaRocco battling back here, not doing the triple, but Windham he's got that little bit extra pressure, a little bit extra reason to dig in there a little deeper, be more aggressive, and it's worked. The other thing is the hole shot. Anytime you get out to the lead like that, let all those problems happen back there behind you, it's a big advantage.
As we take a look at LaRocco and Henry battling for 6th place, Windham is the only guy that's jumping the triple on the far side. That'll add more evidence to his aggressiveness.
Right, that'll help him pull away a little bit. And as soon as he looks at his board and realizes that he's pulling away just a little bit from McGrath, a lot of confidence. That'll help him relax.
McGrath has picked up a second, 6 seconds behind the leader as we take a look at the 4-stroke of Doug Henry, number 19. LaRocco really hounding him, number 5. The Factory Connection Honda. Back and forth we go with the Team Yamaha 4-stroke.
See the way the track builders designed this thing, when you can go inside or outside. You can take totally different timing right there. That time in the favor of LaRocco.
56 lap time for Windham. LaRocco pushed out of the top 5 with a 12th place finish at Daytona. Looks outstanding at times, but really has only 2 4th-place finishes to show for it. As we go back to our leader, Kevin Windham. Windham still looking strong.
This is where the race seems like it takes all day, all night. I'm just going, please show me that white flag. I don't want to have to turn around and see McGrath closing on me, taking away something that I want so bad.
Pashone and Huffman in their battle for 4th right now. That's behind Ward, McGrath, and Windham.
Well, these guys pushing each other had actually caught Ward. It looked like they were maybe going to get around, but now Ward has opened up a lead. Now these guys are only going for the double. They were tripling and Ward wasn't. They were gaining time there, but now the face of that jump is so bad. The only guys jumping it is McGrath and Windham out front.
Pashone's best finish on the year was the opener in Los Angeles. Huffman and Pashone trading back and forth. Good competition. Here's Pashone in the whoops, looking strong.
Oh, there's three passes right there.
Tony Berluti.
Yeah, loosen up. Flow. Ride like you know you can.
Right now, probably huffing and puffing with less than 6 laps remaining in the race.
You can tell by the way these guys are riding, I certainly can, that physical fitness is really starting to play a part. These guys are getting tired. They're not attacking the track.
John Sebastian Waugh going down, and Huffman doing a good job banging the bike of Pashone. There you see Waugh as he tries to get out of the way. Here's our leader, Kevin Windham, number 8.
See his body position right there, forward, charging out of that corner through the mechanics area, still jumping the triple as we get the Honda stopwatch going. We'll see the lead back to McGrath.
There's McGrath. About 5 seconds, so he's closing it down a little bit.
Yeah, it just fluctuates a little bit. McGrath will gain a half a second or so, and then Windham will pull it back out. You make so many mistakes during each lap.
Ward about 13.4 back of the leader in 3rd place. And there's LaRocco and Pashone. Doug Henry, John Dowd of Team Yamaha. Incidentally, if Windham holds on, this is Team Yamaha's first win of the season. Not Yamaha's first, of course, because of the 6 wins for Jeremy McGrath on the Chaparral Yamaha.
Through the whoops, all the way on the left. Windham still getting through there pretty quick, considering how bad they're chewed up.
But Rocco's moved into 5th place, and here is our leader. Check out the lap time on the Honda stopwatch, 57.1.
Slowing considerably, but you can see through this section right here up to the finish, through that whoop section, Still got great timing. As he's going through that berm, McGrath's going through the right-hander, entering that whoop section. They've been the same there every lap.
The next rider that he's going to have to try to pass is not an easy guy to pass under any circumstance, but especially tonight, Jeff Emig. Pashon, number 9, John Dowd.
Well, Emig will fight. He doesn't like to be passed. Even if he's being lapped, he still doesn't like to be passed. And here comes Dowd charging from behind. He's caught all the way up to Pashon, who's really started to either tire or his arms are pumped or something, but he's definitely not comfortable out there and charging like he was, and that's helped John Dowd close the gap.
John Dowd, the 125 West rider, has got that 1-point lead in the championship battle for the 125 Western Crown over David Villemin of France. And here's Dowd, who jumps into the lead with Pashon anyway. Pashon dragging badly now. Let's go down to Marty as Dowd nips the cover.
We're down here with Ali Seymour, and he's trying to get his stopwatch working here. Now, the rap on your guys by one of the other teams earlier tonight was he couldn't hold out 20 laps.
Well, we're going to prove him wrong tonight.
The guys are talking about the crowd and the fact this was his hometown. You also grew up around this area. What's it been like? I mean, are you guys running on adrenaline right now?
Yes, I am right now. I'm just really pumped. We got 2 laps left, and I think we can do it. I know we can do it.
I got to tell you, he has got... You're shaking. I can't believe this guy. You got to see him. His hands are shaking. He's got to put the headset back on. We got to let him go back to work.
Windham gets around Emig very easily. He's got a 9-second lead now. 9 seconds. Well, that's like a light year.
Well, it's amazing because in the last couple of laps, he's really opened it up. He's still going for the triples. McGrath is too, but Windham can just smell the barn, boy. He's really kept up strong. He's definitely going to prove him wrong. This is what he did in his heat race with all that pressure from Lusk. The last few laps, he pulled away, and he's doing the same thing to McGrath right now. I think actually Jeremy may be saying, you know what? It's time for Kevin Windham's first win. I'm just going to be smart and come in here and finish on the podium in second.
Well, number 2 coming in with a 56-point lead in first place, and of course, he gets the big money for the championship.
Well, he doesn't have to win every race, and he sure gave it all his effort, but by the time he had worked his way into second, I know that took some energy. And he made a bid at it, but Windham was just too strong tonight, and I like... Oh, Ward going down.
Ward goes down. Oh, as we just take the action, Ward still has not been passed by Huffman.
Huffman actually just went around, and so did LaRocco, so he's going to drop 2 positions.
So it's Windham, McGrath, Huffman, LaRocco, and Ward the order.
The very end of the race is so critical. This is where you're focused, trying to pay attention up to the racetrack and take the best lines.
Final lap, the white flag is in the air for Kevin Windham.
Something that Windham's doing here tonight that's a little different. He's got a different lens tint in his goggles. He's got like an amber color, which actually changes the way you're able to focus on the racetrack. You can see the soil differently, and I guess I can say it had to have helped.
Ali Seymour, quite a competitor himself. He's got "You're the Man" on that board, and he sure is tonight on this final lap of action.
That seems to be the phrase tonight. Randy was telling McGrath that. Chad was telling RC.
I got to tell him, David, you know, when we were figuring about who might win this race, everybody was saying Lusk and McGrath and everything. I said, oh, it'd be too much of a storybook ending if this guy won. Look at the smile on that mechanic that worked so hard.
He's not going to triple that this time. Why take the chance? He's got Emig right behind him, who he just lapped earlier.
Lusk goes over the finish line, jump, taking his time, milking it. The checkers for Kevin Windham with the heel clicker. Windham, his second career win, his first win of the season, and the 5th different rider this year to capture a Supercross main event. Second place, just across, was Jeremy McGrath. Larry Ward, number 4. And Ali Seymour making sure he gets the Yamaha hat on. Team Yamaha's first of the year. The 7th Yamaha to win a Supercross main event. The native son of Louisiana really pulls this one off, takes you back to when Larry Ward won in his hometown of Seattle back in 1990. Oh, it's going to be fun talking to these guys. And we'll be right back to the Superdome in New Orleans to do just that. AMA Supercross is brought to you by Dunlop, simply the best for your bike.
On your left are the Suzuki motorcycles you want. On your right are the accessories